Coppersea Distilling is what we call a Heritage Methods farm distillery in the Hudson Valley of New York. That's a short but powerful statement. Every word has real meaning for us. Heritage Methods is our catch-all phrase to encompass all the practices we utilize to rediscover what whiskey tasted like prior to the advent of the industrialization of the whiskey making process in the late 19th century. Heritage Methods are the foundation of our entire whiskey making process, and that starts with the grain. We grow our own grain right here in the shadow of Bonnecue Crag on our 75-acre certified organic farm in New Paltz, New York. While we're only able to grow a portion of our own grain here on the farm, the remainder is grown by one of our partner farmers within 20 miles of the distillery. What we're trying to do is create whiskey with provenance, what some people call terroir. And you can't do that without using grain that's grown where you're from. We malt that grain utilizing an ancient technique called floor malting. Only a handful of distilleries in the world still practice this method, in which steeped grain is tended on the floor to sprout before it's kiln dried, then it's ground and utilized in a whiskey mash. We then ferment our malt and other grains in our open-air wooden fermenting tanks, which allow ambient yeast and bacteria to settle into the mash and add their unique character, the character of the Hudson Valley, to all of our whiskeys. We distill all of our whiskeys using simple, direct-fired copper pot stills rather than modern, steam-powered stills. True fire copper provides our whiskeys with a rich, caramelized backbone. All whiskey used to be made like this. Ours is one of the last. And we mature our whiskey at a very low barrel proof, which means that we're using more barrels, which is very expensive, but the resulting whiskey is much more flavorful because we don't have to add as much water before we bottle. I like to say that we're not just in the Hudson Valley, but of the Hudson Valley. Like a traditionally made wine or cheese, we're trying to make a whiskey that can only be from here. Our whiskeys are lush, idiosyncratic, and larger than life, like the Hudson Valley itself. That's the way we like them, and we hope you will too.